Yeah, and CCP is a fantastic example because there's no way that companies, looking at it from the company level, there's no way that companies have the bandwidth, the resources, and frankly, just the interest in catering to each country, let alone each state separately. It's just not feasible. You look at the GPC, the Global Privacy Control, companies are struggling with this. First, they have to implement it and figure out how to do that, which is difficult. So you have to figure out your entire backend ecosystem to read this signal. And then to make it so that only some narrow jurisdictions, what are you going to go off of, longitude and latitude? Or what is this to determine whether that control should be enacted? It's not reasonable. It's not feasible. So by that token, looking at it from a global scale, I would agree that the EU and having the AI Act and going off of what we've seen with GDPR will set that baseline. I mentioned that I consult for IGOs, like international governmental organizations like the UN, and those organizations are not held to any legal standards like the rest of us are. They have their own set of requirements. They're called policies. And I mentioned this because even for them, when I am advising them, I use GDPR as my base. It is what's being done worldwide. Even though they're not held to the same requirements, GDPR has what now the privacy world sees, from better or worse, and I know there are some worse, but for better or for worse, provides that standard baseline. And then as much as you choose to deviate, at least you understand that that's the baseline and you're making the decision to deviate. It gives you a starting frame of reference. By the EU putting the AI Act out first, it's fascinating because arguably they don't have the technology that should give them the right to make those regulations. And that's what the US is coming back there. They're like, hey, this is our product. You should get to decide the regulations around it.